Say hello. Hey. Whether you're catching me live or you're catching me somewhere down your news feed on Facebook or on Periscope, I welcome you here. And if you're live, I want you to come in the room and let me know who you are. I want to give you a shout out. Let me know where you're scoping in or where you're casting in live from. So I'm so glad that you're joining. And if you're on Periscope and even Facebook Live, do me a favor. Tap the screen, show some hearts, all that good jazz, and also leave a comment because I go back like days up until like anytime I get a message, I'm gonna go back and respond to your comment so we still have an opportunity to engage. So is that cool? Is that cool? Is that cool or is that cool? Awesome. So listen, my name is Joe Bullock and I'm extremely passionate about equipping folks in the kingdom to catch their whole entire life. Everything from their mission to their mate. I believe in this season and this time that you can create the life that you love, and so you can attract the love of your life and you can have a Christ-centered marriage. Hey there, keep it real. How are you? So glad you're coming in. I'm going to take a minute just to invite a few people onto the broadcast on Facebook. I was supposed to be on here a little earlier, but that didn't quite happen. Nevertheless, give me one moment to get some people in the room. Hey, Natural Fitness, how are you? So tonight we're going to be talking about how it may be costing you, just maybe. And we want to talk about those things because sometimes what happens is as we get to the new year, sometimes folks are lackadaisical. They say, oh, I have a New Year's resolution, blah, blah, blah. But I want to talk about how not really having a strategic goal achievement plan may be costing you in this season. So let's have a conversation about it. Let's just have a conversation about it. All right, you guys. So I invited some people on Facebook. Hopefully I can get this off my screen now. Oh, God. Hey, Camille. Thank you so much. She always shows up. I appreciate you, as well as Kwashonda. Thank you for showing up. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. So if you guys are ready, type ready, because tonight, if you guys, I don't know if you guys heard me just now, I was saying that I'm going to talk about the 10 warnings. I want to give you a warning tonight because there's 10 ways that possibly it could be costing you if you don't have a goal achievement plan. And I tell you, I speak from my own experience. I don't know if we're going to get this all done in one scope. This may be a part 1 and we may come back and do a part 2. But what I know is if you don't really have a written strategic plan, it is going to cost you something. It's just about what is it going to cost you, and you have to make a decision. I think about the days when I was studying economics, right? In the days I studied economics, they talked about the cost benefit analysis, and I love the cost benefit analysis. Hey, for His glory, because listen, when we talked about the cost benefit analysis, we said you have to look at what is the cost of whatever that thing you're trying to do versus the benefits. And then you had to, hey Danielle, good to see you back. You had to make a strategic decision based on, okay, am I willing to pay the cost, or does the benefits outweigh the cost, or does the cost outweighs the benefits? So that's what we want to do. And you have to make a decision. Am I willing to pay the cost of not taking the time to write out a plan as we just really about to leap into 2017? Hey, Clarence. Did I say that right? Welcome. So you guys, I just want to spend some time talking about it. I think it's really important. And I've been thinking about some of the things I've been through and what I experienced and how much I paid for certain things trying to get to my next level. And the prices are astronomical. And a lot of times it doesn't require all of that. Can somebody type that? You don't have to necessarily pay thousands of dollars and all this type of stuff. Sometimes you just need to take the time out to draft out that plan, right? And so you have something solid to go by rather than, as you guys know what I say, instead of this winging it. So if you're on right now, I want to encourage you to go ahead and share the broadcast. If you're curious about what I'm talking about with this whole goal achievement, what I'm talking about, you can go over to tinyurl.com/goalachiever 2017. We're having a virtual workshop. Hey, Lady D, I'm so glad you're back. Thank you so much for jumping in the scope tonight. So you can head over there to tinyurl.com/goalachiever 2017, and it'll give you more information about this goal achievement workshop. Hey, Jennifer, how are you? Thank you for jumping in. That is happening on January 5th at 8 p.m. All right, you guys. So I'm going to start with my story because I put a bold statement out there. And the truth, it is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. And I said it cost me over 10 grand trying to get to a place to meet my goals and trying to get to a place of success, as people call it, trying to get to my next dimension or whatever that may be. And you may say, Jill, well, how did it cost you all of that? And why did you pay all of that? And really, how much time? I would say over the span of about 3 years. And really, I'm just talking about the raw dollar cost, because sometimes if you take it, I'm not even counting the hours. Hey, Treal. I'm not counting, hey, Jazzy J. I'm not even counting the hours, the energy, the sacrifice. But as I started to, many of you guys know that in 2013, we decided to take Abstaining for Jesus, which was our initial platform, to Detour Movement Incorporated, which then became a company. And it's different than running a Facebook page and running a blog. Is different than running a business. So as we started to run a business, I started to invest in different programs, coaching, products, and services to try to get the business to the next level. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not saying that don't invest in coaching. I'm not saying that coaching is not good. But what I am saying is there's a lot of things that you can do on your own. There's things that you can put in place on your own. You don't necessarily have to go bite off of that $1,000 whatever, that $5,000 whatever, because the truth be told, many of you don't have it, and I didn't really have it to be kicking out that kind of money to invest to somebody to try to coach me. But see, what I didn't realize is I was looking for what I ultimately was looking for. I was like, oh, well, they can help me be successful. They can help me get to the next level. But I didn't realize, you guys, I didn't even look at my own track record. I didn't realize that I had a track record of being able to set and achieve goals. And quite frankly, I did not realize that was kind of like the secret sauce. That the ability to set and achieve goals was the thing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize that. I was thinking, well, I'm going into this new transformational space. Hey, Help 9, I'm so glad you're back. I've never done this type of work. We're kind of like between nonprofit business. We're trying to figure out our identity at the time. So I was trying to get acclimated to the industry. So I was willing to pay all this type of money. But again, I didn't realize that at the core root of everything is all about, let me take time out to be focused. Let me take time out to set this goal and see how I can go about achieving it. So listen, that ended up costing me $10,000. Okay. I didn't write all the things I did, but I paid this one coach $5,000 for a 2-day workshop to show me how to strategize. I spent another $2,000. Treal and I did that jointly for another thing, learning about joint ventures. Spent $1,200, really $1,500. We talked about last night for the book coach, or how much ever it was over 12 months. And it just was that I'm just giving you some of the big things that just come to my mind. That's not even including the conferences and everything. So you have to spend money in order to set yourself up in the business. You do. But I'll tell you, you don't have to spend as much when you take time. Hey, Greg, I haven't seen you in forever. I'm so glad you're back. Listen, when you take time to say, hey, we're going to do a vision casting exercise next week. When you take the time out and say, what is really my vision? What is it that I really want to accomplish in this season? So you take the time to do that. You take the time to reflect. What did I do well last year? That's what we're going to be doing. All is well. We're going to take time to reflect. Hey, Queen R, on what went well, what did not went well. So anyway, I want to try to help you save some coins, because the truth be told, nobody has time, nobody has money to waste. And when you already if you already know what your vision is and you get clarity around that, wow, that's going to save you hundreds and thousands of dollars, and when you know what your milestone goals are, you can go ahead and do that. And then now you can hire the right coach. Okay, for whatever that is. Some of you guys may need to hire a fitness coach, right? I'm not a fitness coach. Some of you guys may need to hire whatever that may be. I'm a caregiver. Can I incorporate in my business? As a caregiver, I would say get onto the Goal Achievement Workshop. It is helping you to set life and professional goals. So the thing is, you need to know, as if you're in that industry, how are you getting clients? How many clients do you need to get to meet your goal? Like, that's the type of thing that will help you map out. Now, this is not necessarily geared directly towards business. It's goal achievement. So we're going to encourage people to set their goals, personal and professional, and kind of go from there. Okay, so I would say head over to tinyurl.com/goalachiever2017. Truth be told, in all of our years of business, we've never done a virtual workshop like this. We've done live events. We've done many live events. We did a vision casting event a couple of years ago, vision board party. Last year we did a brunch in Brandon. So we've done various things, but nothing like what we're doing this time. You know, what you're going to get a 90-page workbook to walk you through, and you can plan out each month, each week, and each day to hold you accountable. So I'm really excited about it, you guys. And my phone is at 20%, so we're going to have to work that out. We're going to have to work that out. Let me see if I can put a charger on it without dropping it, so help me God. I don't know, you guys. I'm going to be logistically challenged right now. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Try not to lose Facebook. Try not to lose Periscope. Sorry, you guys. Okay, I had to kind of put my charger in a little weird. Anyway, you guys. Okay, so what it may cost you. It cost me 10 grand. And I don't want you guys to spend that kind of money, because you should not hire a coach if you're not clear on your vision. If you're not clear on where you're trying to go, you shouldn't really hire a coach unless you're hiring a clarity coach to give you clarity around that. Okay, I'm just saying. Hey, Michael Berryman, how are you? So one thing it may be costing you, if you don't take the time to set intentions about what you want, you may end up being stuck in a job you don't like, which that's like the worst thing. Nobody wants to be in a job that they don't like. But if you don't take the time to say, what type of job do I want? What is important to me in terms of a company's value? You know what I'm saying? That I want those values to line up with my own personal values. Right? So you spend more time at your job really than you do anywhere else, truth be told, right? Except on the weekends when you're at your home. So that may be one of the consequences of not really taking the time out to plan what it is that you really want. The second thing I want to tell you, and this is what really I've been talking about because this has been my story, I wasted a lot of time and I wasted a lot of money. Had I took the time every year, to do this type of planning, I would have saved a lot of money. Granted, I still was successful in a lot of areas because I still was able to accomplish a lot of goals, but I wasn't doing it in a comprehensive, strategic way. In my mind, I had goals. I would write it down. Situational is what I told you. You guys remember that? We talked about having situational goals. Oh, I'm going back to school. Oh, I'm going to, start eating healthy. But what we're talking about is giving you a life, something for you to be successful in your life. Like it's all encompassing. It's like a full circle. It's not like a piecemeal, right? So a lot of times we get good at piecemealing things, but this is taking it full circle, Thank you, Treal, for sharing. Thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. So as people are jumping in and people are jumping in and out, let me just take a minute to introduce myself, and we're going to keep going and having this conversation. We're going to keep going to have this conversation. So my name is Jill Bullock, and I'm extremely passionate about equipping folks in the kingdom to catch their whole life, everything from their mission to their mate. In this season, I believe you can create the life that you love, and you can attract the love of your life and keep that love of your life, and you all can have a Christ-centered marriage. I just believe that in this season that joy could be yours, right? You claim it, you can live it, you can breathe it, but it's things that you're going to have to do. I got a couple of questions that's coming in. What is the best way to get online business into internet, and what's the best way to go about it? I don't know if I caught that whole question, but I'm going to try to make sense of it. If you can retype it. Also, I wanted to tell you guys, I'm the best-selling author of the book, The Biggest Lies Women Believe About Men Dating in the South, and the founder of Detour Movement, which is a global kingdom movement. So I had two questions that came in. Okay, somebody's asking, when did you see a return on your investment? Well, some of them I haven't, if I can be really truthful. Some of them I have not. Now, some of the programs was very comprehensive. Like the JV program I done was very comprehensive. So it's things that I still can utilize, and I believe we invested in 2014. It's still things I can utilize from that program to still monetize, but it didn't necessarily monetize right away, right? It didn't happen. Because that's another thing you got to know. When you're going for your goals, you got to persevere. And it may be a level of trial and error, especially when you're talking about business and you're talking about business strategies. You may have to throw up a couple of things, you know, how to say, throw spaghetti on the wall and see what sticks, not blindly, but in a strategic way. So, you know, there's things even right now in terms of how we're developing our emails that we're utilizing from some of the JV coaching that we received. So it's not an exact science. For the one I paid $5,000 for, I would say I didn't really receive an investment. I'm not blaming the coach. But as I look back, and this is important, here's a tip for those who are in business. When you are in business, you don't want to get with a coach that has a different business model than you have. And see, I didn't really understand at the time. This person was building a big speaking business, flying across the world, country, speaking here, speaking there, and doing that. And that's not something that I have wanted to do. I didn't desire to go speaking. I wanted to more have an online, virtual type of business, kind of hybrid with conferences and stuff, but I didn't want to necessarily go speaking across the country all the time. I'm not about that life. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Camille. Somebody else was asking the question. They were asking the question about business. Have you ever met someone that took me by the hand and took you through each step by step? I would say no. A lot of times for the coaching that I came across, even in business, a lot of the coaching, somebody asked the question, has somebody ever took me step by step in terms of the process? I would say no. I would say I've gotten various trainings in different processes, and it often was in a group format. Because honestly, a lot of coaches, and it depends, but a solid coach to give you one-on-one, a lot of times you can't even get that. But a lot of times that starts at like $10,000+ just at the beginning, honestly. You will get one-on-one consulting, and and even with that $5,000 coach, that was a 2-day strategy session with just me and one other person. So, I mean, that's pretty, However, again, no shade towards that business coach. I implemented parts of those things, but at the root of it, I didn't want to build a business in the same model that they had, so it wasn't really a good fit. So anyway, you guys, you don't want to spend money you don't have, so we're talking about number 2 was waste time and money because nobody got it. Number 3, I want to tell you, is not getting paid what you deserve. Not getting paid what you deserve. And this is not necessarily just for entrepreneurs. And really, I didn't even write it so much with entrepreneurs in mind. This is just in general, even at your job. Right? Sometimes you guys are staying in a position in your job because you don't have a vision and you don't have goals about how you're going to be moving up the corporate ladder, within your organization. So you're still in the same position, making the same amount of money you've been making for the last 5 years. And I'm just grateful that not only have we been able to build a successful community within Detour Movement, but also I've had a level of success on my job, which every year I get a pay increase every year. And a lot of times is even more than that because I've been getting a promotion like every 2 years. So we got to have a plan and a vision of how you're going to be moving forward. So the 3 things, let's just recap real quick, you guys. If you guys can type this on the screen. The first thing is at a job you don't like. You don't want to be stuck in a job you don't like. You don't be wasting time and wasting money on coaching you don't need, on coaches that, whatever that is. You just don't even want to be wasting money all the time on things that you cannot afford to pay for when you really should be investing that money somewhere else. Truth be told. Also, the third thing is not getting paid what you deserve in your job, with clients, whatever that is, whatever career path field you're in. I was listening to this guy today, and he was saying that on his job one day, he just went up to his boss. He went up to his boss, and he was like, listen, I'm not getting paid enough. You guys, I should be getting paid X amount of money. Let me just say he was getting paid $80,000, and he went to his boss and said, I should be getting paid $20,000. They gave him a raise. They increased his raise to $20,000, and he was making $100,000. Now, granted, I don't know the reason, but I would be remiss if I didn't say 4 months later he got laid off. But at that time, he wasn't willing to work less than what he deserved. And sometimes, the truth be told, why there's such a pay discrepancy between men and women is because as women, we don't, thank you so much, Camille, for putting that up there. Hey, Evangelist Christopher, oftentimes we don't ask for, Treal said, not in the government, listen. And that's why a lot of people are pivoting from the government and doing their own thing because people are like, You listen, you making them companies millions of dollars, especially in the private sector. Okay, and they tell me they're gonna give you $15 an hour. Man, buy Verizon, buy T-Mobile, or whoever. Okay, so anyway, I'm just saying. Number four, and I think this is important. This is one of the things that it may be costing you. It may be costing you your self-esteem. It may be costing you your confidence. If right now you're currently at a body weight that you don't like, whether you're too skinny, you feel like you're too skinny, or you feel like you're overweight, or perhaps you're just whatever, you don't feel good about who you are for whatever reason. It could be weight, it could be complexion, it could be whatever it is. You know, and that alone can cost you success, because the truth be told, sleep at night, because, right, I was just talking about somebody today. You guys, did you guys realize that like confidence is like one of the most important skills to possess today? Do you guys realize that? Listen, it's like authenticity, i.e. we saw that with Donald Trump. Authenticity, and then it's like confidence, and then it's like clarity, and then after, like way down below, probably like number 180 is competency. It's not even about that. So it's so important that you can stand in confidence. When you stand in confidence, that's going to determine what type of person and people you attract in your life. Women and men alike, in terms of your partner, in terms of your friends, in terms of business relationships, it's all going to be predicated upon the level of confidence that you exude when you're out in these streets. I'm just saying, the level of confidence is going to determine whether or not you get that promotion. Okay, the level of confidence is going to determine whether you still stuck in that same position or you're able to move forward. Level of confidence is going to determine whether you're going to get into whatever that next thing you're trying to do. Sometimes even going to depend whether you get that client or not. Right? It's going to definitely depend on whether you're going to meet your goal or not. So it's so important that you have a plan to say, okay, if there's something about myself, hey, Broken Silence, how are you? If there's something about yourself that you do not like and it's uncomfortable for you, you need to do something about it and change it. Now, there's some things, come on, women and men of God, there's some things you cannot change. Okay? Like my nose. I didn't like my nose at one time, you guys. I really did. I was like, you know, people used to tease me about my nose looking like Gonzo and all of this type of stuff. So I was insecure about my nose. Well, I had a choice. Was I going to have plastic surgery, or was I just going to get over it? I just decided to get over it. I'm like, it's really not that serious. It's really not that serious. And sometimes we get so caught up in thinking confidence somehow equates to, sometimes people think that confidence equates to how cute you are in the face, but that's not it. Confidence is really exuded from the inside out. It's being comfortable in your own skin. And that's what it's costing you. If you're not taking the time out to write out goals and say, man, I don't like my body weight. Some people don't like their body weight. I get it. And you need to do something about it. And you need to have a plan that you can stick to that can hold you accountable and help you really meet that goal. And even beyond weight, when it comes to some of you guys, just like I need to exercise more because listen, I'm pre-diabetic. Listen, I'm 40 years old or whatever, 50 years old or 25 years old, I'm pre-diabetic, you know, or I have high blood pressure, or I have high cholesterol. Listen, oh, hello, this wasn't even one, but I'm not sure why. It can cost you your life. Hello? It can cost you your life if you don't really take the time to plan. People are like losing their life because they're unhealthy, because they're not eating the right things. It seems like people are getting younger and younger in terms of whether it's dealing with aneurysms, dealing with so much stress in their life. Listen, nobody got time. And this season, you got to say, I'm not willing to sacrifice my life because I don't want to take the time out to write my goals. I'm not willing to sacrifice my happiness or my level of confidence. You got to get to the place that you're saying you're not willing to sacrifice those things. So I'm going to give you guys, I wonder if we should keep going to all 10. Maybe I'll keep going to all 10. Okay. We may keep going to all 10. I'll see how we doing in a bit. Oh, my battery is kind of low. Maybe we won't. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay, you guys. So, number 5. Hey, Jamal, how are you? Number 5. Some of you guys is costing you being young, some old, fabulous, and broke by broke. Not having a written plan of how you're going to save your money. Not having a written plan, a spending plan. I'm doing very well. It's costing you to be broke. It's costing you to stay out of that house that you desire. It's costing you to be stuck in an apartment. No shade. No shade, no judgment. I'm just saying that if you saying that there's something, any element of your life that you want to shift, which that's always me. I don't care how much success. I don't, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter how many zeros. It don't matter that, that none of that matters to me. To me, it's all about how can I reach my greatest potential. It's about how can I connect with the most people in terms of having the most impact on the most people that I can reach. Make sure I'm fulfilling my kingdom assignment of going out and getting those people who are assigned to me. Hey, Carla, thank you so much for joining. Thank you. That's what it's about. It's not just about, just being happy. Yeah, that's a good thing. But it's about so much more. There's people that's waiting on some of you guys to show up. But because you don't have the confidence, because you've been wasting so much time, you've been wasting so much money, your goals are all over the place. You got 85 goals and you can't accomplish one. You can't even reach the people you need to reach. So this time I'm saying this playtime is over. It's time out for the foolishness. It's time out for being frazzled and being all over the place. It's really time in this season for you guys to get really focused on what it is that God has called me to do. Spend some time thinking about that. Spend some time reflecting about that. Really getting some clarity around that so you can move forward. Because I always tell you guys, as a dating coach, as a relationship coach, I'm always telling you guys that you really can't experience true prosperity and true happiness and all of this great stuff with somebody else if you yourself don't know who you are. If you don't have clarity about the vision for your own life, how you can have a vision for your marriage. I'm just saying. So it's this season that we got to get a little more clear about where is it we're going, because you cannot hit a target that you cannot see. Hey, Yamasi, I didn't realize that was you. I'm so glad you joined, beautiful. And also, shout out to Evangelist Christopher Marshall. I believe he's joining for the first time. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How did I get clear? Honestly, that's a great question. That is a great question. My greatest level of clarity didn't come from a coach. My greatest level of clarity really came from seeking God for clarity and understanding. And that's going to be some of the pre-work that we're going to be doing next week as we prepare our hearts and minds, because truth be told, God is the one that put the vision on your heart. And you may have a vision, and God may give you that vision, but also you can also seek God to give you the structure. Many of you guys know that this year we restructured how Detour Movement was framed. We put some definition and some clarity things to make it very crystal clear of how we serve people in the community and who we serve. Right? Detour Movement Incorporated is not necessarily for everybody. It's for people who say, in this season, I'm seeking to offer my body as a living sacrifice. In this season, I do not want to conform to the patterns of this world. And particularly saying people who wants to be accountable, people who want to subscribe to certain boundaries, people who are saying that I want to conquer challenges through Christ. People who want to say, I'm going to subject myself to being a disciple for God. People who are saying, I want to subject myself to discipline. Treal was typing that earlier. Somebody said they missed it. Let me know what you missed. Let me know what you missed. So pretty much I was seeking God for clarity. This was a year of prayer for me. I spent a lot of time in prayer. I did prayer privately. I did prayer publicly. Many of you guys were on the scope. We went through a whole prayer book. We learned a whole new model for prayer. And I sought out God, and I asked God very specifically to give me direction around that. Now, as you do that, there may be other people that God will utilize in your life, but they also have to be in tune spiritually with God, right? They have to have the spirit of discernment. They have to have certain giftings in order for them to help aid you in that as well, which is possible. They will just be providing the clarity part. That's where I come in. That's where Treal comes in, and some even coaches can provide that service, So that's how that works. God puts the vision on your heart, and then you go and spend some time writing out that vision, and then you go and start thinking about, okay, how am I going to get clarity around that? So I'm glad you asked the question. I'm glad you asked the question. Again, if you guys haven't already shared, I do encourage you to go ahead and share this broadcast. Share this broadcast. I'm not even sure if I'm broadcasting from my personal page or my business page, but nevertheless, if you guys can share on there, and folks that's on Periscope, I do appreciate you so much. It means a lot to me when you guys do share. Thank you so much for inviting your followers so we can reach as many people as possible. I always say if people are interested in the topic, they'll jump in. If they don't, they won't. But at least you won't have to worry about, man, I wonder if somebody that message was for somebody today, right? So we talked about 5 things, and I wonder if we can keep going. How my battery doing? I'm at 18%. Okay, so we talked about at a job you don't like. We talked about wasting time and wasting money. We talked about not getting paid what you deserve. We talked about being unhappy with yourself, not having a level of confidence that you desire because you haven't taken the time out to do the work. Anything that you want to improve, you have to spend time doing the work. It's not no magic bullet. It's no magic pill. There's nothing magical about success. You have to spend attention, be very intentional about what it is that you desire to do. You really do. You really do. And I'm learning that even more every single day. I'm seeing that. Is no, there's not. Hey there. How are you, Sylvia? So glad you joined. So glad you joined. Okay, let's keep going. I only have 18%, but I think I'm going to try to work some things out with my charger here. And hopefully we can, commitment and consistency. Girl, you better say it, Treal. And that's really the 7, we talked about that yesterday in the 7-step process. So if you guys are interested and you like, listen, this is going to be the season that I'm really going to take some time out. I've never taken the time out. Most of you guys have never taken the time out to write down your goals. And let's write down, say, oh, I want to lose 10 pounds. Okay, that's nice. That's nice, but what exactly are you going to do to lose that, and having a little more clarity and definition is something to hold you accountable. I'm sorry about that, you guys. I'm trying to keep us going here by keeping my video. So anyway, I'm just saying, I'm going to keep rolling. We have 10. I have more than 10, really. I was going to break it up into 2 scopes, but I think I'm just keep going. So the next thing is, this kind of going to relationship stuff. Let me pause. Did you guys have any questions about that? Do anybody have any questions? Hey, son, Millie, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you. I bought 2 journals and completing writing those goals tonight. Awesome, awesome. I think he's telling me just go into the relationship scope. Maybe I should go out and come back. 1 for ministry and 1 for business. Do you have a faith-based business? Now you got me curious. Is your business and your ministry at all related? I'm just curious. Okay, I'll wait for them to answer that. But we're doing much better on Facebook, doing Facebook from my cell phone versus from my device. Not all of them. Okay. Very well, because I know sometimes people have a business, a faith-based business, and then they also have a ministry, and it may be a lot of great around that. And sometimes people end up doing, like we did, a lot of things out of the spirit of ministry for free, and not being able to, or knowing how to properly monetize that business. But anyway, I want to kind of go out and come back for the relationship, you guys. Periscope is always good when you do longer, but Facebook not so much. Yeah, let me just hop right off, and I'm gonna hop right back on, and we're gonna go into relationships, because it's kind of like this kind of got kind of businessy, and I want to do a separate one that's more relationship-y. So I'm going to hop off and hop back on. Hopefully my battery will sustain, and we're going to go right back into it. So catch me back in like 2 minutes, you guys. I'm going to hop off and hop back on. All right. See you guys soon. Make sure you head over to tinyurl.com/goalachiever2017 to learn more about this goal setting workshop. Actually, it's called Goal Achievement Workshop. All right, you guys, I'll see you in a minute. How do you know when you are ready for the relationship rather than friendship? All right, Christopher, we're going to answer that question as soon as we come from my mini break. All right, I'm going to log off and come right back. All right, you guys.